Hello, I'm Becky. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to share my flapjack recipe with you. I've tried several over the years and this is the most reliable. It's never finished up on the bottom of the oven floor looking like a volcano, so that's always good. So the quantity that I'm going to make is enough to fill a Swiss roll tin. This measures 20 by 30 centimetres and I've got a piece of this washable lining paper in there just to make sure it doesn't stick. If you wanted to make half the quantity, you just need to have a round tin and again use a piece of paper in the bottom to make sure it doesn't stick. The oven is on to gas mark 5, that's 190 Celsius, 170 if you've got a fan oven, and it's 375 if you're in the States. So this is made by the melting method, and that means that we're going to do it all in a saucepan. So I've got quite a big one just to make sure that I don't make too much of a mess and spill things. And in here I'm going to put 200 grams of muscovado sugar. This has got a lovely toffee flavour almost, and it makes your flapjack quite dark. To that I'm going to add 200 grams of unsalted butter. You could use margarine. Butter adds an extra element to the flavour, but don't use salted butter because that will make your flapjack taste salty. 200 of that. And then we're going to add honey. Typically golden syrup is used, but this is a lovely recipe and the honey gives it a nice flavour. I'm going to use my British Standard measuring spoons and I need 4 tablespoons of honey, so that's the big one. This can get quite messy. Runny honey is easier than set honey. But if you've had it in the cupboard for a while, it will have gone a bit thick, and that's okay. Just scoop it out as best you can and use that. There we are. Now that's ready to go and be heated. You're not going to actually cook it, you're just going to melt everything together on the hob, and I'm going to just wipe my fingers. Now I'm going to use a front burner. If I was doing this with a child, I probably would use the back one because there's always a great temptation to pull it over and see what's going on in the saucepan. So be very careful if you're doing this with little people. And this now just simply has to melt. It takes a while, so be patient. If you've got big lumps of sugar, just break those up with your spoon. You can use a wooden spoon. I've got a silicone one because I just happen to like it. But patiently just let that melt. Right, I'm going to stop that now. That's good enough. There is just one little tiny blob of butter left, but I can give that a bit of a stir and a squish and it will go. Moment of danger now because I'm going to take this back over to the work surface. So again, if you're working with a child, keep them out of the way while you do this. So I've put the saucepan onto one of my silicone mats, made by a very well-known French casserole maker, but very good at keeping heat off your work surface and stopping things from slipping around. Because this is very hot, it's a wise thing to do that. Into this I'm now going to add 350 grams of porridge oats. This needs to be regular old-fashioned porridge oats, not the quick sort, the instant porridge. That goes in. And I'm also going to add 100 grams of plain flour. That can be wholemeal if you've got it, it can be gluten-free, it can be any sort of flour quite frankly. And that's what makes this more reliable because it makes it a thicker mixture. If you wanted to at this point you can also put in some dried fruit. My family are not keen on that, so I'm not going to do that, but you could put in 150 grams of sultanas or cherries or dates, sultanas, cranberries, whatever you like, or a mixture, and get that mixed in really thoroughly. You're aiming to get rid of all the white powdery appearance and get everything to go that lovely sort of teddy bear brown colour. And you need to get right into the edges of the saucepan. There we are. That's done. Now this goes into our baking tray. So here we go. Looks like a lot, but it's great this. It's warm, so be careful if you use your finger. And then it needs to be smoothed out. Now I've found that the best way to do this is to switch to a metal spoon. Because it's cold, it works really well at flattening it out. And I've got my finger holding the paper still in the corner, so the paper doesn't slide around. There we are, and you see that's not sticking at all. You can smooth it out. It will level itself a bit in the oven, but you want to do a reasonable job before it goes in. There we are. So, now 20 minutes at gas mark 5, 190, 375, and because it's quite dark when it goes in, it's going to be quite dark when it comes out, but 20 minutes now, okay? That looks good. That's actually had 25 minutes in the oven because the middle of it was looking quite soft. It needs to cool for about 10 minutes and then you cut it whilst it's still warm. So it's had 10 minutes, it's firmed up quite a lot, and I'm going to cut it into finger-sized pieces. You can cut it however you choose, but you can see it's now a little bit, it's cracking a little bit, which is okay. I've gone in half down the middle, and I'm going to just, I think, cut it into, if I go there, yeah. So 16 pieces, and when it's cooled down even more, you'll be able to get it out of your tin and then serve it with a cup of tea. Well, I hope you enjoyed this and you have a go at making it for yourself. You can like, share and subscribe to the videos, and if you look at the website, which is www.becky-bakes.com, you'll find printable versions of all the recipes. Thank you. Bye.